morning, everyone. This is our drive out to the land where we are parking our bus while we work on it. We wanted to show you this drive because, well, it's beautiful, but also this is the drive that we had to take, and Patrick was driving. Say good morning, baby.
Good morning. I gotta watch the road. It's very curvy.
Yeah, you don't have to look at the camera, but the camera's looking at you.
Good morning.
So, tell folks what it was like to drive the bus on this windy country road.
Well, just driving the bus for the first time ever was scary. It's a big piece of machinery.
Yeah.
But coming down here, I mean, the speed limit here is 50 miles an hour, which is, where I come from, that's unheard of. That's too fast for a road like this.
Where do you come from, honey?
I come from Canada. Ontario specifically.
So what the speed limit be in kilometers on a road?
On a road like this, probably about 80, maybe 70, depending on, because this one's very curvy. It might be 70.
I'm not sure exactly how that translates, but I know that 100 kilometers is 60, so that's much less than 60, maybe like 40, 35 or 40 miles an hour, something like that.
Yeah, so I was a little disturbed by the speed limit, but I was in the bus and I had set myself ahead of time to say, I don't care what the speed limit is. I'm going to drive as comfortably and as safely and as slowly as I feel I can or I need to.
Yeah.
So I did, but boy, I tell you, when I got off the interstate and I was on this road, I got a little bit nervous. It was very white knuckle because it's, as I said, it curves.
And this isn't even the worst of it. This is actually the most reasonable part of the road, because at least here there's a shoulder, but we're about to get to this one part when we get closer. When we get closer to the farm, where there's literally, like, I can't stress to you enough how there is no shoulder. Like, there's barely enough lane. The lane starts to dip down.
It's very narrow, and it slopes.
Yes, that's what I'm. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say.
Slopes off to the side.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah, so I decided, when I got to that point, and you'll see it. I went very slowly, and I went to the middle of the road.
Yeah.
And I went very slowly to avoid, because it's curvy, to avoid being hit by somebody coming around the corner. I wanted to give them plenty of warning.
But you couldn't tell if somebody's coming. Oh my gosh. So
it was very frightening.
Yeah. We're glad that we have a place to park the bus, and it's actually such a perfect spot. There's lots of room for us to, spread out our tools and work on things. We have access to power and water, and our friends who own this land are just super generous with us, so we're very thankful for it. So thanks, Tony and Jan, if you're listening to this. But yeah, it was quite the adventure driving the bus on this. But you know what it was good practice for? When we're gonna drive the bus in like Colorado with those like windy mountain roads and other places where it's like a little bit treacherous.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. This is basically what Oregon is like in the winter. So we thought about staying home today, but it's like, well, it's gonna be like this all week long. So let's just do it. What are we gonna work on today, sweetie?
Oh, I don't know. I thought we'd try and work on the rest of the bathroom.
Yeah.
Lavatory, get that try and work on the air conditioning pipes that are in the ceiling by the hang on, gotta slow down. That are along the edges of the ceiling.
Yeah.
We gotta take out some rivets there and pull down some plates. And then I thought I might take a look at the fuse box and the electrical system, and a little bit closer look at the heater,
which we're going to be taking out eventually. But that's a whole project So
Yeah, I brought the diagrams for the electrical system and the heating, air conditioning that we have in the. We've got about in the luggage bays when we were cleaning it out. There was a very thick binder of material and documents that are specifically related to a 2000 Setra S215, which is what our coach is. So all of the documents about the engine, the heating, the air conditioning, the fuse box, all of that stuff is in there. I call it the bus Bible. And I bought particular sections with us today so I could take a closer look rather than sort of fudge around.
So we'll see what we can get done.
So look at this.
Oh yeah, this is also not the worst of it, but here we are starting to have no shoulder, just a tiny little bit of shoulder. Yeah, we'll show you the worst of it's coming up in just a minute.
It's narrowed up a little bit here.
I definitely recommend anybody who's getting a bus this big to practice as much as you can. I don't know, in like a parking lot or
like
streets that we did not.
We did not. No. we got in that bus. We paid. We gave them the money order. We got in and we drove.
Yep. And I drove like the first maybe half hour, and then I had a mild anxiety attack, and Patrick had to drive the rest. So.
Yeah, we were gonna split it out halfway, but listen, I'm not gonna criticize anybody for that. It's very scary. So.
Yeah.
I understand completely.
It was very scary. I was not having it, but I'm gonna get better.
You know what else I noticed on the bus? And when I was behind her in the Prius, I noticed she was very far over to the right. I thought she's trying to overcompensate with traffic coming this way by hugging the right. And it turns out, and
it's a very common thing.
Well, yeah, she told me this afterwards when she got out of the bus that she wasn't trying to do that. She thought she was in the center. When you're sitting in, I discovered this afterwards as well.
Yeah.
When I was driving, the effect is when you're sitting in that driver's seat of that bus, you feel like you're in the middle. Like if I'm driving a Prius right now, I'm pretty sure I'm in the middle of the lane.
Yeah.
And it feels that way.
And you actually are.
I actually am.
But it's a tiny car, so it's easier to orient yourself.
In that bus, you have that sense of being in the middle of the lane when you are actually far over to the right.
Yeah. But we've watched some YouTube videos that show people, they will put little pieces of tape on the windshield or on the, I forget where else. I think it was on the windshield.
The mirrors.
On the mirrors, yeah. That basically show this is where the lines are. So it's the intention is like
this is the place.
Here we go.
This is really scary. I remember this curve.
Yeah, and it's downhill. Oh my god.
And I'm in a 45-foot bus coming down this thing, and I am scared to death. And there's traffic, and oh my goodness.
Yeah. Very scary.
I'm nervous in the Prius.
Yeah, but anyway, the purpose of the tape is to basically mark where the median line is and the shoulder line is or whatever, so that because it's impossible for you to actually tell where you're supposed to be in the middle. So if you can just say, okay, I can tell that the line is crossing through that tape, visually it's a big help. So we're gonna do that when we start driving. All right, we're almost to the, you can see how windy it is. But we haven't even gotten to the most narrow part yet.
Luckily, the most narrow part is actually not that long before we get to the farm.
Yeah, that's true.
But still.
Yeah. So yeah, so Patrick was saying that we're going to work on the, he called it the lavatory, because Canadians speak very properly. I just like to give him a hard time for being Canadian. Anyway, so the bathroom has been all taken out except for, there's probably about 3/4 of the floor that we haven't gotten out yet, and And there's also like a little water tank that's still attached to the wall. So those are my goals for the day. I want to try to break all that down. Okay, I'm going to turn you around so you can see. Here's the real scary road we're about to turn onto. Okay, so do you see how there is literally no shoulder? And the road is like sloping down. Oh my goodness. And then it's curvy and you can't see anything. It's very narrow. So on a bus, like, I feel like this entire road should belong to that bus, but we're supposed to just stay on one half of it? What? But what's funny about that is we actually have seen some pretty big trucks come down this road. So
I figure if they can do it, I can do it. I just made the experience.
Exactly. It is possible. But wow.
Well, certainly it's possible. I got here. We parked here.
I mean, possible to stay in our lane.
Oh, yeah. I'm not even going to bother even making that a point. I mean, I'd be happy to just right in the middle of it.
We're going to have a very rainy day of bus work today. That's what it's like in the winter, so we got to keep at it.